School on Monday.
Hi, I'm Ruben.
And I'm Eric.
Welcome to School on Monday, a podcast where we tackle all student topics, from study tips to relevant and interesting news discussions, funny stories and anecdotes.
There's no handbook for school survival, but help's always at hand at the School on Monday podcast.
Check out our website at www.schoolonmonday.com.
Yes. What we doing today, Ruben?
The same thing we do every week.
A podcast for you again.
Lovely.
Episode 24.
And what's the question for today?
Do schools do enough to teach students about politics? Do they?
I don't know. Do you feel like you learn enough about politics while you're at school?
Not really. Like, honestly, I didn't really know anything about politics. So,
What about now? What do you know about politics now?
that Boris is an amazing human being.
You should take that back, old boy. Take it back. No, well, why don't you just...
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Boris is an amazing human being. He's doing great things for COVID and stuff.
I heard you might get the vaccine on
Yeah.
live TV.
On live
Is that
TV.
true? Is that a real
It
rumour?
seems like that. But I just feel like, you know, it's important. What do you think about it?
What about politics? It's good. Yeah, I think it should be, in a lesson or two.
Yeah.
It should be taught about for sure, but for me, I didn't learn much about it.
Yeah.
Don't know much about it now either, so
Are you even into politics
I'm
though?
into it. No, not at all. It's not
Okay.
really an interest I have.
Fair enough. Why is it, what would you say, like, why was it important for, like, teenagers?
Well, as we both know, it affects. And you know what? It's made more obvious now with this COVID stuff, but it affects our day-to-day life, so
Yeah.
you need to know about it, do you know what I mean? And when you're of age, you should be voting as well. You should know what everyone does and everyone's views on things within politics.
Do you vote?
Do I vote? Yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
Nice, you have to, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
Vote.
definitely. That's our message.
Encourage people to vote. The right people, by the way. Actually research and find out what's going on.
Yeah, get your own opinion on it.
Yeah. Don't just follow the masses and think, yeah.
And I'll say, obviously, things change in school, like the curriculum changes in school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's down to politics.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
as I said, it affects your day-to-day life and
Yeah.
it can affect you directly in school.
100%. That's more, when we were at school, we didn't really realise how,
No. We just think
it's so far away.
it's just happening.
but
just
it's
happening.
not, because it can actually affect you.
No, of course.
100%.
But yeah, what can students do to become more politically aware?
First, they can listen to this podcast
Okay.
to tell you to go, research. I think another thing is you can read and watch the news, which is the simpler things. But we, as humans, don't do the simple things. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would say read, watch the news, maybe speak to people.
Or just people who are interested in politics.
Yeah, who are studying maybe politics or things that, maybe something like a mentor or stuff like that, to actually understand what's actually going on. Because more time, we kind of push it away because we don't really understand what's going on. And it just seems it's not really affecting us, but it does. So I would say just watch the news, speak to people, even maybe if you're that eager and really want to understand what's going on, maybe speak to your local MP. So, which is a great thing. Try and find a way to have a meeting or a conversation with them.
Do you know who our local MP is?
Huh?
I forgot his name, to be honest. I was
Yeah.
just to see him. Actually, no, I think I remember it now, but I don't want to say it because
It might be wrong.
no, because then I know where we are.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit too close.
Yeah.
I'll leave it out for now.
So, and also speak to your teachers and parents,
Yeah.
which is one of the most important things. But sometimes your parents don't really know. So maybe your teachers or people that are studying it would be the ideal situation. Do you feel like like students now are more politically more aware than we were, because I was useless.
Yeah, we were out of it, but then I think, obviously, as we say in other episodes, the internet wasn't as prominent as it is now, is it? So, like, even now, like, we're getting updated on the news without even knowing, like, on, popular pages on Instagram, for example.
Yeah. Like, I'm just bait.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to free promo. They're trying to charge like $1,000 for promo.
Everyone trying to make money.
Yeah, let's cut it out. But yeah, no. So you got I'm Just Bait. They're putting out news all the time, especially with the Brexit and the COVID stuff that was happening. They had little updates on that. So it is like a news page, and there are pages dedicated to news as well. So yeah, I think they're more informed now, and it's not, before we thought, young people aren't really interested in politics, but I know a lot of people who, I've seen the people that I teach. It's changed now.
Yeah,
they're actually quite interested in politics, interested in studying.
I think it is. I think it is really interesting, but I feel like you just have to have a knack.
For genuine interest.
Yeah.
From young.
I think that would be the ideal situation there.
Yeah. Do you think schools should do more in terms of?
I think so.
Getting politics out there.
Yeah, I think.
What can they do though?
I think maybe have a period in their lesson timetable, maybe once a week, to showcase what's actually going day to day of the situations now. What can happen, like for example the Brexit. I would say the more information is given, the more the teenagers and the young ones will be more in tune to make a decision. From that. Because more time we didn't really make any choices when we were growing up because we didn't really know or care to know. Yeah. But if it's in front of you and maybe we have some time to actually read through it and understand how it cool. Like, I think it has to be more practical. Don't you feel like it has to be more practical? Like literally say to these ones like, yo, if this situation happens now, this is how it would affect you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Like, I
just, because I just feel like when people used to come and talk to us about MPs and like Prime Minister, whatever the case, they just said something and it was such a distance from the situation.
Well, so it's like, what do they actually do? We don't understand.
Yeah,
what they do.
Yeah. So I feel like if they come tell me now, like, yo, this is what's gonna happen if you make this choice or if you're gonna make this choice. These are the repercussions that might affect you if you make these type of choices. So, but like for example, the Brexit thing, people are so adamant to most of the people are adamant to be like Brexit out and have UK as one and get away from Europe. But then that disadvantages a lot of students that want to go abroad to study. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the issue I have. What do you think? Do you feel like they can do anything to change or help?
Anything to change?
Yeah.
No, I think it's what you said. It's about giving more information out there.
Yeah.
While not being biased towards their own beliefs. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've got to remain impartial to. They've got to remain impartial. Don't you think?
Can schools actually be impartial whilst doing this?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they must be able to. Like, if you're just delivering information without giving your opinion, I guess that's the key, really, and let the students decide for themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are obvious things. There are dangerous beliefs. You'll see it's dangerous if that you can't express your opinion on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like racism, for example.
Yeah.
Being homophobic, those sort of beliefs there. Obviously they can express their opinions on that because that's going to affect the environment right there in the classroom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, what do you think about that?
I think so, but I think they have to be transparent with their information and just be honest with both of them and say, okay, cool, like, this is the situation, these are the information, and allow the kid or the young ones to pick and decide what they want to do in their own place. Maybe they could potentially say, these are the repercussions, these are the things that's going to happen if you do this one and that one. and then let the people choose for it. You know, at the end of the day, so they're not entitled. Like the school's not entitled because they made 90% of the people pick one thing and it's gone the other way and stuff like that. I think people just need to pick with their own choices. But I think schools should provide more information and just keep it open and transparent as much as they can, so they don't seem biased or pick 1-2 situations.
So would you say there are any arguments against teaching politics in schools?
I think one of the reasons why schools kind of neglect that is because of the sheer fact that it can potentially be impartial, and it can be biased, and those things can happen. So I just feel like the schools are a bit scared to do that and speak about these situations, that things can go maybe left or right. You know, I think that's one of the things. So they rather just not be in it, that conversation. But that also makes them more impartial because you're supposed to show the political values and what's going on in the situation in your own country. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's one of those things. And as you can see, and most of us, we realise the younger generation are so inquisitive.
Cool.
Inquisitive. So they ask a lot of questions. Do you know what I mean?
Inquisitive.
Yeah. Inquisitive. Or inquisit. Inquisitive is how I say it. Do you know what I mean? So they just want to ask. Yeah, why? Like, why?
Yeah, there's pressure. If you're teaching a politics lesson, there's actually pressure.
Yeah, so...
Don't you think, when you find it high pressure, because they're going to be asking so many questions, so many opinions flying around.
Yeah, it's like, why? Like, you know, you see the... Why? Like, what, you can't have peanut butter and jelly? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Peanut butter and jelly's dirty.
That's what I eat.
But these are the situations that can happen, and because they are so passionate, and maybe one of the tutors must have said something wrong, but it could potentially become an uproar, like another protest and stuff like that. So I feel like the schools just avoid all of that, just to not have that discussion. But again, that makes not having the discussion become a political viewpoint. Do you know what I mean? Not having those discussions. I think the best thing they can do is just provide the information, be honest and transparent with the information, and let the other half, which is the young ones, to pick from that. You know, what do you think the schools are doing already? Like, what do you feel like they're doing? Are they doing anything?
I'm trying to think what they were doing when we were at school as well. I think we had citizenship lessons, or PSHE, which touched on it a bit. I don't think, obviously there's no direct politics lesson, but however they do teach at A-levels.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think there are subjects that just touching it a little bit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just said, citizenship, PSHE, talks about it a bit. Within history, you know, you get the foundations on which a lot of these political ideas are built on. Yeah. You've got geography as well, touches on politics around the globe. It just has to, do you know what I mean? Politics is such a big makeup of different countries. And then religious studies as well. You get a few political issues in there.
100%.
So yeah, I just think politics is it's not easily avoided. Do you know what I mean? Whether you know it or not, it's part of your everyday. It's part of your everyday.
It's like essential.
Yeah. So
because people read the newspaper every day.
Yeah.
In the morning. And more time, what's in the newspaper, like politics and the MPs and all the other show business.
Yeah, it's just very subtle in schools.
Key points. First one is, it's important to be politically aware because it affects everyone's lives.
Yeah, and also watching the news can help you become more politically aware.
But do your own research as well. Third, some school subjects do teach politics.
Teaching politics in schools is difficult as teachers will be expected to remain neutral.
And the last and final point is, teaching politics in school will give students the base tools to navigate future political situations better. We'll be back.
We're back with another news round.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be back with more podcasts next week. All right, you guys stay safe. It's a bit cold out there, but stay safe. You know how it goes.